Also, take your browser to supertalktv.com. You'll see I'm not alone. Today, we get to find out more about the first ever telehealth marketplace for skincare. I think that's a cool topic. It's called the Skin Consult, and it's founded by skincare expert and PharmD, Dr. Barot. Hi, Dr. Barot.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing well. I'm very excited about this. I'm more excited that it's coming out of Mississippi. So let's get started. How did you get inspired to create the Skin Consult?
Absolutely. So this was inspired by my move to Mississippi, which actually made my skin kind of change. So about 10 years ago, I moved from the Chicagoland area down south. And, the changing climate, life changes, all of that really made my skin go haywire. And I personally went through a long journey of trying to find the right skincare routine, the right skincare expert to help me get back to where I needed to be and achieve my skin goals. So over time, I realized this was a problem many other women and men face as well. And with the skincare industry growing rapidly, with new products coming out each and every day, and also new
Hmm.
aesthetic services, it's quite a complicated space to navigate for consumers. And being able to connect to the right provider and understanding what you need for your skin type was something that I really wanted to empower with data driven solutions. And with that, I wanted to launch a AI enabled platform that would allow skincare providers to connect with consumers to help them with their skin. So we launched in 2020 as a virtual platform to do telehealth consultations, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. I think people are now more open to the telehealth way of doing things. And so this feels like kind of just the next step. I mean, right on the heels of being able to do anything from your phone or have the convenience of doing it from your own home. So, how does it work in terms of making an appointment, or what are you getting whenever you go to the skin consult?
Absolutely. So you can go to the skin consult, take a skin quiz to first understand what type of a skin you have. So that helps you understand on four different parameters: how sensitive your skin is, how what your risk of pigmentation is, what your risk of wrinkling is, and what type of skin you have, oily to dry. These things are some things that a dermatologist or an esthetician would be evaluating when you go see them in person. So we put that in a data driven online skin quiz. And then once you do that, you can also select available providers on our marketplace. And we have we have people like doctors, we have estheticians, we have pharmacists, we have aesthetic nurses. So we have a variety of skincare experts on the platform that you can look at their profile, their availability, and book an appointment. And the great thing is, they're from different parts of the country. We actually have one from UK. We also have one from Canada. So we, have a lot of different time zones that we can cater to. So if you're looking to speak to someone about your skin at 10 p.m., you can do that. And you book the appointment, and you'll have access to your, dashboard where you'll answer some additional questions about your particular skin goals. So all of that will be taken into consideration by the algorithm that is helping the provider make recommendations. So when it's time for your consultation, you just log into your account, click on the start consultation button, and then a video will pop up, and the provider is going to start making recommendations, talk to you, and you'll be able to see live what products they're recommending to you, and you can talk about it. So it's a really cool way of having a telehealth appointment, but at the same time being able to see the products as well that you can then purchase through your dashboard. And then the skin consult will ship them to you with all your personalized instructions. And anytime you want to contact your provider, you just log back in and you can contact them through your dashboard. So it's a very easy and convenient way to access skincare experts, whether it's a esthetician or a doctor.
This is really neat because when you started talking about the different products, man, you can go to your local pharmacy or you go to your big box store or you even go to even fancier places where you get your hair done or wherever it may be. And it's like walls and walls and walls of products that are out there for skincare, for, all the different things and in all the different price points. And it feels very confusing how to figure out which one's right or sort of worth it. So to me, just the value of being able to talk to someone who would understand everything would be worth it.
Absolutely. And our algorithms really take all of that into consideration about your price points, what your concerns are. And that way, the products that have certain ingredients that have been proven with clinical studies to actually work for those concerns, they're going to be pre-selected for the providers to, help you with. So you can really have that detailed conversation from the convenience of your home while you're looking at the ingredients. And say you're pregnant and you need to re-evaluate everything you're putting on your skin, or you're going through a phase where you are going from summer to winter and now need to kind of re-evaluate the things. So it's a way to really personalize at the level of ingredients, but also your lifestyle. So you can select like, well, certain products, like I like this type of a product versus I like a cream, and my price points are this and this. So we can really help you find your true regimen that you don't have to second guess what you're getting. It is products that will work for you.
I love that. And two, it seems like you understand that the work-life balance, busy on the go, trying to balance it all, making those appointments. It's easy to do it if you need to do it at 10 o'clock at night or 6:30 in the morning or wherever that may be. I read where, Dr. Barot, you've got 3 small children or 3 kids still at home. How do you balance this all?
Yes, absolutely. It's a busy time. It's a lot, but I balance it with good time management and really prioritizing what needs to be done, and really making sure I set goals for myself and the family as well. So it's each day is different, and at the same time, with the help of my family, my husband, we can do it.
You can do it. It's also interesting you're a PharmD. Normally, you don't see PharmDs getting into skincare, but if you think through it, it kind of makes perfect sense. How does that set you apart from, maybe others how you have a different sort of point of view on it?
Absolutely. I think as pharmacists or PharmDs, we're really trained to understand ingredient level therapeutics, meaning how chemicals work in our body and how they change things. So, as a pharmacist, we obviously spend a lot of time on drugs and medications, and skincare is basically a bunch of chemicals put together into a formulation that is not considered a drug by the FDA standards. It is a cosmetic, but it is still a chemical that we're putting on our body. So it does affect us in many ways. And hence, we really have the in-depth knowledge of understanding how different ingredients work together, how they work together in complement, and really can achieve your right therapeutic goals, or for you in this case of skin, how you can achieve your skin goals. My background in particular, which is really tied to products itself, comes because of also my experience on the pharmaceutical industry side. So I have over 12 years of experience working in pharmaceutical industry, where I worked on FDA approved medications. So doing phase 3 and phase 4 clinical trials, working indirectly with the FDA to get drugs approved, educating physicians and healthcare professionals on medications, and then ultimately also understanding how to read clinical trials that are being done for our, drugs. So all
Hmm.
that really helped me understand the unmet need in the skincare industry. As skincare falls under the cosmetic category, they're not very regulated. Hence, a lot of brands and products that are being put out in the market, unfortunately, are not marketed appropriately. They are making claims, or they might be advertising things such as, this will decrease your wrinkles in 4 weeks. When I think any person that really understands this space knows that that's not possible. It's not been proven in clinical trials by them. And there's no ingredient in that particular product that actually has shown efficacy in trials. So I think there's a lot of those things that the skincare industry can get away with because it's not regulated. And unfortunately, consumers don't know the difference, right? So people see on the boards that, in a clinical study, 90% of people said they saw a decrease in their wrinkles. Well, it's not a clinical study because the study they did was with 24 people and did a survey, and that's not considered a clinical study by any means.
Nope, but we're getting good information from Dr. Barot, and we've got more coming up next here on Good Things. And if you go over to supertalktv.com too, you'll see we are continuing our conversation with Dr. Barot. She is the founder of the Skin Consult. It is the first ever telehealth marketplace for skincare, and I think this is really cool. This is really needed. It will really help people get some of their questions answered in terms of products that they may want or questions they have. We have a lot of wonderful men who listen to Good Things, Dr. Barot, and they're usually the ones that won't reach out and ask those questions or even think about skincare. So speak to that population who's thinking, man, that's not for me, but you could use a good skin line too.
Absolutely. And, everyone that has skin can benefit from a skincare regimen. So, men also particularly have oily skin, especially if you live in a humid climate. And, as we're getting older, we want to age gracefully. So using preventative skincare regimen is really important and is a lot more effective than trying to treat or manage those aging spots or wrinkles, things that can happen, post 40s and 50s as we get older. So I always tell men and women that start in your 30s at the latest, a good regimen that you can have a foundation to help address your loss of collagen. We lose collagen 1% each year. And then also if you're more oily skin, you might be having some breakouts, clogged pores. So some of those exfoliating products can definitely help you in that space as well. And at the very least, put on sunscreen. So men, if you're out there playing golf or, going to play tennis, hunting, whatever you're doing, definitely have to put on sunscreen and reapply every few hours because sunscreen doesn't, just last all day long. With sweat, it gets removed or gets inactivated. So we want to make sure we have the right sunscreen on board as well. And men in particular really enjoy the convenient aspect because they don't have the desire to research or go ask 10 other people or their friends, what products do you use or how can I do this. So in particular, I found the Skin Consult early on really attracted men as consumers that I was not expecting because they really wanted to kind of be told like, okay, here's your regimen. If these are the problems you're having, and if you want to help with your skin, this is what we're recommending. And they really love having a simplistic approach. So I think Skin Consult can be actually really a good option for men who don't want to bother going somewhere or going to talk to someone in person or the hassle of making appointments, calling around and things like that. So it's just a very convenient aspect for men in particular.
I appreciated the information you were giving us about products don't always do what they claim they can on the front or that they might could on the front. As a dietitian, Dr. Barot, I know that when it comes to supplements and health and weight loss and all that, I always put my palm to my face when people start talking about, the great claims of the new supplement du jour. But it feels like you don't know who to go to sort of ask those questions about the skincare there in the pharmacy line, especially at your big box stores. Is there any brands that are actually decent, or is it better to just get that individual one-on-one kind of consult for your particular skin type?
Yes, absolutely. I think there's some really great brands, and there's obviously very good innovation happening right now in the skincare space. What makes it difficult, though, is that with those good ones, there's also the ones that are not that great, that are not doing any proper clinical trials, but or not using the right ingredients, the right percentages that will actually be effective. So it's really hard as a consumer to navigate that. And skincare lines that are typically sold through professionals, like, that are sold in doctors' offices, or the ones that, for example, the Skin Consult has, those are all considered more like their professional skincare lines, or, quote unquote, someone might call it medical grade. And that's also a terminology you have to be very careful with, because anyone can call their products medical grade, but it's not a terminology that is, supervised by the FDA. So anyone can say my product is medical grade, but what does medical grade really mean? It just means that it has certain level of pharmaceutical level of purity of the ingredients. So for example, a retinol that you might buy from a drugstore brand versus a professional skincare line brand, it's going to have more of the pure retinol that's actually going to be very effective. So that those products just work much better. And many times those products have also done some clinical trials, maybe not as large of clinical trials as prescription drugs are, but they definitely have done some level of efficacy studies to showcase that they work. So we really like to you try to use more of those products. And, the Skin Console, what we do really good at is we do vet the products that go onto our platform. So we partner with the brands directly, and we vet the products, because every line has some really great products and then some not so great products. So we want to make sure that we're building a regimen that is using products from different lines. It could be 2 products from the same line or 1 product from each line, but it's basically building a regimen that is complementing each other, but it's also going to be very effective and works with your skin goals and your, goals in terms of how much you want to spend on your products as well. So that's kind of how we really helping shake this industry up in a way that we're demanding transparency from skincare brands to provide more information. But at the same time, we're also curating the right products from each line by doing our own research internally. And our own advisor team, is comprised of, well-known cosmetic chemists, medical doctors, health tech experts, and so forth. So we kind of have that expertise to really look at these products as well and say, okay, this product has basically a stamp of approval, and that is how they get recommended on their platform.
You mentioned you moved from Chicago to Mississippi. Now, you may not like our summers, which we're getting right into, but you got to say, we have better winters, right?
Absolutely. Winters are amazing. The fall and winter time is great. I do think, yes, the summers are a bit harsh on me. They still are 10 years later. But yes.
But you bring up a good point too, just being aware of the different time changes and the different seasons and how that's affecting your skin. I can talk as as I start to see 40 over the hill there just a bit. You can definitely tell there's a shift that comes with your skin. You're not in your 20s anymore. You're definitely not in your teens anymore. And you just have to do things a little bit differently. So it's good to have. No, you can kind of have an expert in your pocket. It's the kind of the way that I'm hearing the Skin Consult can be looked at.
Absolutely. And actually, we're, as I said, we started in the virtual space, and that is here to stay, but we're also expanding to a much enhanced marketplace that will allow med spas, dermatology offices, plastic surgeons across the globe to join this marketplace as a business to offer their services, not just virtually, but also services that they do in their office. So the goal is to really make this a enhanced e-commerce marketplace for the aesthetic and dermatology industry. So you can take a quiz, see recommendations on what products you need, but also what services you need that are being offered by providers like a dermatologist or a med spa in your area. So that's the direction we're also really excited to go into, that will be launching by this mid-fall. So stay tuned for seeing a much more enhanced marketplace that will go beyond the virtual options for many people that want to also go get some treatments and recommendations from providers in person.
Last question about kids. I know when we think of skincare, we think of kind of teenagers or adults and beyond, but I've got friends who've got kids who have eczema or have different skin irritation when it comes to finding the right sunscreens and different things like that. Would they be a good fit for having a skin consult?
Absolutely. As long as an adult is making their appointment and is present during the appointment, kids can speak to to the providers as well.
Or maybe the parents speak on the kid's behalf. I think is more of like what I was was trying to get to, because you definitely, man, during this season with all the different sunscreens and some working and some don't, some have allergies and some whatever it may be, it can definitely get confusing. Well, I'm so happy for you, and thank you for staying in Mississippi to create your business, the Skin Consult. How can we find you? Where do we go?
So you can find our business, theskinconsult.com. You can visit there and learn some more information about the business. You can also connect with us on Instagram. The Skin Consult is our page. Personally, I also am on Instagram. My name is at Dr. Sajani Barot. And we'll be able to chat with you, answer more of your questions, and would love to see some of you come through the Skin Consult and become our customers as well.
Well, let's keep in touch. I'd love to know and celebrate whenever your business grows to the next phase. You're always welcome here on Good Things. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you guys stick with us. We go from skincare to snakes, and I'll tell you how coming up next.